there's a scripture in my favorite book that says, in all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. At this point in where we are in the coronavirus, they're saying that every minute or 2 minutes someone dies from this coronavirus. It shows you how fragile life is. In all things, give thanks. And what I thought about yesterday, life hit me in the stomach. My oldest son called me in and he said, Dad, I'm the one that's going to have to tell you. And I said, what is it? My sister Serena, we believe that she has the virus. Let me tell you, I was like a little kid. I started crying immediately. You ever had a call that you didn't expect to hear what you heard on the other end? I wasn't prepared to hear that. And I want to break this word up. Thanksgiving. In all things, give thanks. That we have so much to be thankful for. And we should not just have one day that we express that gratitude. When I get up each day, I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for. Why? Because I believe having a spirit of gratitude is major. It's major. And every day we should be thankful. We're here because of God's grace and mercy. We are experiencing and enjoying things that we had nothing to do with our acquiring those things or being able to have those things a part of our experience. And even things that sometimes appear to be tragic. There are times we can look back and say, whoa, that didn't just happen to me, that happened for me. But it's also another place. Give, thanksgiving, thanksgiving. They have an article out today that hunger in America is surging. And so we have an opportunity not just to connect with family members and friends, but make it a priority to give. Even if we decide that we're going to help one person, one family, let this Thanksgiving be remembered for what we gave of ourselves. There was a guy on television that last year this time, his family was giving out food. And this year, his family needs food. And even that he received, he shared that. Now that's what you call the Christ-like spirit. Let that mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, that you're willing to give. This is a time to give forgiveness. A friend of mine said something that really stuck home with me. She said, the last time I saw the majority of my family members, because we've been so dysfunctional and so divided, it was at a funeral. Isn't it interesting that you can have a dispute with the family members, be angry with them, and when something happens to them, that goes out the window. Isn't that interesting? And so when we give forgiveness, when we are willing to have a bad memory, if there's a key to bringing families together, it's having a bad memory. Do you remember what you did? Yeah, but. I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to like it and share it. And if you're willing to give of yourself in this day, in this age, give of your talent, your abilities, your story to create a greater world. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. When you are willing to give compassion and understanding and stand in the gap for somebody that can't stand for themselves. Speak for those who are voiceless. Give hope where there's despair. Oh my goodness. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. Thanksgiving. Thank you, Lord, for putting me in a position that I can give forgiveness, understanding, love, a meal, a smile, a kind word, write a letter to someone that's been a blessing to me. Write a letter to you, thanking you for what you have done for me that I did not earn or deserve. No, it's not all about the turkey. No. It's about all being grateful. Oh, having the spirit of gratitude every day. From this day forward, if you're not doing it already. When you get up in the morning, I say all things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. And then I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for. 7 things that I thank God for. And I feel good. After I finish, I feel real good. You're going to feel good too. I thank God for you. I thank you for listening to this message and thank you in advance for your giving. Thanksgiving, giving, love, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, giving of yourself, of helping someone. Those people who are standing on corners with signs, don't just ignore them. Surprise them and make my day. I was in New York and one of my daughters, Samaya, guy came up to the window and she gave him some money and he walked away with such a bounce in his walk. She was around 9 years old. I said, what did you give him? She said, the $50 you gave me. I said, no wonder he walking with a dip. Oh my God, he was doing, hey. Oh boy, this thing called life. It's so fascinating. It's so fascinating. We woke up this morning. It's a wonderful day, as Warren Hudson would say, the best day of your life. You don't believe it? Try missing one. Thanks. Thank you so much, Lord, for allowing me to still be here, not taking a dirt nap. Say thank you, Lord. And give of yourself. Give of your time, your love. Give forgiveness. And forgiving is not holding back in terms of, well, I'll forgive, but I won't forget. No. Forgiving is remembering without anger and revenge and guilt. It's a beautiful day that we are experiencing now, and tomorrow it's going to be great. I'll be seeing my family virtually. My computer that does not sneeze and it's not asymptomatic, and it won't cough on me. Listen, are you thankful for what God has blessed you with your voice, your ability to take charge of your life, that you just haven't had the courage to use your voice to strike out and do something that's you, this talent that you have? As Dr. Miles Monroe says, rob the cemetery of your voice. Rob the cemetery. Don't take it with you. No. There's some people waiting to hear you. Rob the cemetery of your voice. There are people who need your voice. There's a frequency behind every voice. And we have a program that will teach you how to use that voice to transform audiences individually and collectively. People need hope right now more than ever before. And when there's hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. People need a voice that helps them to keep the faith, baby, because these are challenging times and people need to know no test, no testimony. Faith not tested can't be trusted. And your voice will help them to realize, stop looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. You are the light of the world. Let me pull that voice out. Let me show you how to organize those stories and create special moments and experiences with an audience and command standing ovations and make some money too, baby. Oh, behave. Hello? And have a lot of fun. Just think about it. Doing something you love to do 8 hours a day at the comfort and safety of your home, at the computer. Don't get better than that. Come on now. Doing something you love from home, except for the children sometimes. Don't y'all make me come back there, Tyrone. Put voice in the comments section if you are ready to answer the call on your life. Job is what you get paid for. The calling is what you're made for. Allow me to be your mentor. It's no accident that you're watching me right now. You hear me in your heart. You know it's time. It's time. And pray for my daughter and my son-in-law, the greatest son-in-law in the world. Pray for them. I'm believing God that they're going to be just fine. But when I first heard it, it was a punch in the gut. And I heard these words, faith not tested can't be trusted. This is a test. Why are you crying? This is a test. Get yourself together and let her hear your voice and know that you're not afraid, that you know that she's going to and he's going to get through this. Hello, this is Les Brown. I'm in Bangalore, India, and I've just been reflecting after spending time in New Delhi, India, and now here, on how blessed and how fortunate we are. It's a beautiful culture of hard-working people. There's a lot of beauty, and there's also some challenges of people on top of people, very congested, but great possibilities. I always say when I'm in any area, if it's in Liberty City or Overtown in Miami where I was raised, or in Chicago, and I see poverty, I always say to myself, these bones can live. They can. And I believe that when I look at my life, at this stage of my life, I've had to step up. I believe that there's a greater calling for me and people like yourself who want to make a difference, to step up. When we look at all the things that's existing in the world today, all the conflict and the violence, we look at what's happening to those young girls in Nigeria that's not in the headlines anymore. When you think about the airline from Malaysia that has disappeared and there's nothing else about that, and what's happening in the Gaza Strip, and all of the things that's happening in the Ukraine, and the political turmoil that's happening nationally and domestically. I believe that the world exists as it does because the people who are representing darkness are working harder than people who are representing light. And I believe that societies and countries are created by people, and they can be changed by people. And the secret is to maintain commitment through all our frustrations, through all our disappointments, and everything that we will go through in attempting to changing the way that we function as human beings. I believe
Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. That we just have to step up, men and women outside of politics and outside of religion, both of which I believe unwittingly polarize and divide people. Just everyday people, average people who've decided to live an extraordinary life and to live a contribution, to decided that you're going to be a manufacturer of light, that you're going to do what you can, where you are, with what you have. I'm just thinking, I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
This is fantastic. I think if I was listening to both of you, I would be that one person in the entire auditorium standing on my feet, giving you a standing ovation, even before the speech is over. But both of you are talking about something that is so vitally important, and that is the whole idea of greatness. And let's talk about the process of greatness. So what hurdles did you overcome to get where you are today? Can I ask that again? What hurdles did you overcome to get where you are today? And we're talking about the process of greatness.
The biggest hurdle was the environment. To look around the community where I was born and raised, and to have a vision of something beyond there. And not having other children in my age category that had that kind of vision and that kind of dream, wanting to travel and see the world. That's something that I was inspired when I looked at television and I saw I Love Lucy and the Jackie Gleason show and all those television programs. I wanted to travel around the world and see things, which I'm doing now, which I expose my kids to, and they travel. Only 15% of the population ever travel globally. But to remind myself that this is not my rightful place, that I'm not supposed to be poor, and that I'm going to buy my mother a home, and I'm going to get her out of here. A man, my mother raised us, she said, a man provides and protects. I'm old school. I don't believe that a woman should work and pay bills. A man should provide and protect. If she wants to work, that's good. But whatever money you earn, you keep that for yourself. But a man pays the bills. That's the era that I came up in. And provide and protect his family. And so when I turned 18, I sat my mother down. I said, you'll never have to work again. And I took care of her until she was 89 when she made her transition. And so having the mindset that I am more than a conqueror, not just in lip service, but in how I live my life, that I can control my own personal economy. I can develop the skill set that would allow me to create multiple streams of income and to be my own boss. I will never forget when I quit a job and everybody asked me a job, where are you going? I said, I have no idea, but I'm going away from here. Sometimes you have to leap and grow your wings on the way down.
I say, give yourself a going away party.
Yes, that's right. I did that for a CBS station in LA. I had a big luncheon for them. And they said, what's the occasion? I said, I'm going in another direction. You said, you are kidding. You earning over 6 figures for 3 hours on the air. Why are you leaving? I said, I told you I wanted to do the radio program at home. You said, you want to keep me here and have me under your thumb. I said, I'm not a under your thumb kind of dude. I'm taking myself away from here so I can control my own future. I don't want to give you that kind of power over me.
Wow, taking back your personal power.
Yes, absolutely. You want to be able to develop yourself so you have walk-away money. So that you can walk away. If the environment does not suit you, you can walk away. If you're not earning enough, you can walk away because you know that you can create it again, that you know that you have the ability. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, including your finances, to create a life that you love and that you're excited about. Helen Keller said life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. And so I live an exciting life. It's great to be me.
Yeah. I love that. Move away from people that further entrench you into possibility blindness. Move away from a culture and people, and then take back your personal power. I mean, that's so practical. If you've given it away, that means that you have the power to take it back. Take it back and give yourself permission to succeed.
The kind of conversation we're having right now,
Yeah,
people don't get this often.
they don't.
No, you have always marched to the beat of a different drummer. Henry David Thoreau said, if a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps he's listening to the beat of a different drummer. Let him march to the music that he hears, however measured or far apart. You march to the beat of a different drummer. And that's why, as a leader, you impact and then you influence people because you inspire them through your example to raise the bar on themselves.
Yes, that's really, really good. That's really, really good. I want to throw out another question. What hurdles will the average person have to overcome?
Well, I think that the hurdles that the average person will have to overcome, and the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome, is one and the same. And that is to be coachable. Yes, I know. You're shocked right now.
I am
shocked. You're shocked right now. The
world, Honda, Toyota.
The world is filled with know-it-alls who accomplish very little. and the toughest thing that it is, and I understand it, is to take yourself out of the driver's seat and be led by somebody who's achieved greater results than you.
I can't believe I'm here.
Okay.
After a while, it sinks in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we often have bright ideas that we have, different projects that we're passionate about, but unless you have some strong leadership and a coach who can guide you through some things that you might not have seen or been able to anticipate, then you're not going to make it as far as you could. Many people are struggling as solopreneurs because they don't realize the power of teamwork. I'm blessed because I don't just have a dad, a great parent, I'm a part of a great team. And because of the coaching that I received from him at an early age, by the time I was 14, I was earning over $2,500 an hour. I was traveling, spending time on the road, on tour when most kids were still in school. And that foundation gave me the type of life that when I entered my 20s, and I was doing things that many people did not know were possible, but I knew it was possible because my coach told me it was possible. I didn't believe him at first, but there's a difference between, wanting to be successful and being groomed for greatness. So when you get a coach and you identify a coach who cares about you, who loves you, who can see your potential when you might see your limitations, then you're able to outperform your greatest dreams.
Yes, and provides the enough pressure and tension between who you are and who you have the potential to be, and helps you to raise the bar on your own expectations. That's really, really good. And then you talked about the whole idea of a team. Someone once said you go as far as the 5 people closest to you. I say that they become your prophets. And you don't go as far as your dream, you go as far as your team. And I'm only rephrasing in sound bites what you just said. That's really fantastic.
Yes.
So
I heard a person that said their definition of hell is on your last day on earth, the person you are meets the person you could have become.
My gosh. My gosh. Now, that's a good quote. You know?
Whoa.
And so we should take, part of the process
I'm gonna use that.
is not running around trying to meet everybody else, but spending enough time being introduced to your greater self, because your future self is going to thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your coach, your mentors, they can see your future self.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And one of the quotes that my dad says, which I love, which is true. Sometimes you have to believe in someone else's belief in you until yours kicks in.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Because sometimes we're blinded, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And the thing about John Wesley, I learned so many things from him. The pivotal points in my life. He helped me to begin to believe in myself when I was first diagnosed with cancer. And how old were you at the time you came to me?
I was about 14.
He's 14. He came in the room. He said, "Dad, are you going to die?" I said, "We're all going to die one day." And he said, "No, but I want to know, is this cancer going to kill you?" I said, "Well, why are you asking me that?" He said, "You're in this room. I don't hear any motivational messages being played. The shit down. It's dark in here. Where's my dad? Is this going to kill you, or are you going to fight?" I said, "I'm going to fight." What made you do that?
I just miss my dad. And what most people don't realize, when there's like a diagnosis, like a cancer, for one person, the whole family is affected. And the whole family is impacted. And I wasn't ready to lose you. And I'm happy that you fought. I'm happy that you reinvented yourself and developed different habits and started to get all the expertise about the diagnosis so that you can still be here today.
Yeah, he's
defying the odds every day.
Yes. He started letting the shade stuff and said, "You need to listen to something. You need to put some positive stuff in your head." And so I followed his directions. I believe you're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach.
I was thinking about just life in general and my life in particular, and his life. That in terms of our eyes, we're taught to judge according to appearances, as opposed to judge not according to appearances. It might appear that his life is short, but he made some impact to those of us who love him and still do. And I think that life, it serves us notice that there's a song that Celeste Johnson, a business partner, she sings, live each day. To live each day. Some people have a day, have a week, have 20 years, 40 years. In my case, I'm in my 77th year on the planet. And what it has done for me, I get to, with the time that I have left, to honor him with the life that I have left, to live full and to live this life empty, to live the rest of my life 100% for God, to be of service. I know he would want me to continue to change lives. And that's what I've been reflecting on. Sometimes we unconsciously we sideline ourselves. We put ourselves on the bench because of age. And Matthew's life, he made an impact on me because it stirred something up in me that God said to me, "You're still here. I didn't call you out of the game. I didn't put you on the bench. There's more in you. You still have something else to give, something else in you that you have not expressed. That's why you're still here, because of my grace and mercy. Not to be on the couch, not in front of the television set. There's some lives that you're supposed to touch. Some people you're supposed to inspire. Some people that you're supposed to train. I'm not playing with you. I've got to get back out there." And it's always when something happens, I ask God, what am I supposed to do with this? And what I'm supposed to do is say thank you for the time that we spent with Matthew and opening my eyes to take it to another level. And what I want to say to you, I don't know you, but as the saying goes, live each day, and as if it were your last. Things are happening that we never anticipate in this day and age. It's like a repeat. When the forces of evil say, take our country back, they're talking about not taking it back politically, but turning back the hands of time. And people of conscience, of morals, people who have awareness, we have to take a stand for generations that are being born today and generations yet unborn. Tanya Brown, who is Cedric Brown's wife, no relation, but she said this is a time for us to be visible, to be vocal, and to be vigilant, to be involved. And this thing called life, or you know remember that song by Devils? If it ain't one thing, it's another. And so the three things that I like to reflect on that dropped in my spirit, as Dwight Pleasure would say. One, do what matters. Do those things that matter. Avoid unnecessary drama. Life will bring you enough drama by itself. All you have to do is just keep living. All you have to do is just keep waking up. And you will get a knock on the door. And life will say, it's your time now. It's your time now. You can say, who, me? Yeah, why me? I don't know, but it's your time now. And somebody said that life is like an onion. You have to peel it one layer at a time. And sometimes you cry. And I know that to be true. I know that to be true. Just connected with my birth family. Some of them were glad, but some weren't to know me because I was a secret. My brother and I, we were the secret. And it's painful to be rejected. If you choose to embrace it as being painful, or say to yourself, it is what it is. Whatever. And keep it moving. Don't buy into it. So that's one thing. You have to keep it moving and do your best with what you have. Next thing is, as I reflect on this my 77th year on the planet, not only doing what matters, but live the life that my oldest son says something that I had not thought about. He said, Dad, we've been living a blessed life. And when I think about how I got here, through effort, through time, and through doing something that's me, I encourage you to do that. Put effort and time in something that's you. Work harder on yourself than on a job. Put the energy on you. Life has no duplicate, and it has no guarantees. Live it on your terms. I wanted to see the world before I left the world. I've been probably to over 50 to 75 countries. And I believe, like Helen Keller, she said, life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. I truly have not lived a boring life. I got my entrepreneurial mindset, my community activist mindset, my seeing myself as an ambassador of hope from my mother, Dorothy Bell Rucker, and Beulah Rucker. And I got having a good time from this dude named Doc Oliver Randolph. That was my father. So that's the only story I heard about him. Okay. I got the best of them and the worst of him. They say he was a clean-cut dude. I mean, he dressed meticulously, and he was a handsome dude, and he was a ladies' man. That's the only stories I heard about him. I haven't heard a now other story, as Baba would say. But my birth mother, Dorothy Bell, oh my God. She was a teacher, she was a singer, she taught Sunday school, Bible classes, she was a motivational speaker, she inspired and motivated people. She's a bad lady. She was something else, all right? And so I got the best of her and the worst of him. So I'm glad to still be here to serve God and to live a life that's my truth, the real me, not the one that I bought into based upon my environment and my circumstances and things I picked up in the streets. The real me, and living a life of contribution. Made a lot of mistakes. Had a lot of failures, a lot of disappointments. But I'm like the lady who said, Lord, I ain't what I want to be, ain't what I'm going to be. And thank God, I sure ain't what I was. And I'm scooting my way to success. I said, John Leslie, he's come up with this new concept. Scoot your way to success. And so, the other thing is, not only must you do what matters, avoid creating unnecessary drama, do what's you, do you, find something that resonates with your heart and master it. Master it. But the other thing that's important too, and please listen to me closely, be on a talent hunt. A talent hunt, looking for people who have skills, who have talents, who have abilities that you don't have, who are strong where you are weak. That's important. This is no time to try and do this thing called life by yourself. No time. You want to organize a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Become involved with a community of people that's going in your direction. That's why we started Hungry to Speak. And I've got a new group I've started. And if you're interested in, it's called Les at let me write it. I just started this and I came up with this concept because I want to work with a small group of people and then I can coach up close and personal like my mother did. I've been talking to people, did some interviews with people from Gainesville, Georgia, who she coached and mentored. And one of them, she's an evangelist and happened to be a grand cousin on my father's side. And so I'm going to do that. I said, you know what? I want to do that. She was amongst a small group of kids that she worked with. And she's been telling me stories about my mother that I found fascinating. And she said, there's no way anybody who saw you and been around you can deny that you are Dorothy Bell's son. If you're interested in being coached by me, just reach out to me, Les at coachmelesbrown.com. coachmelesbrown.com. I talked to a grandniece day before yesterday, and I said, do you think that my birth mother, Dorothy Bell, did she ever see me on public television or when I had my talk show? She said, She said, I remember when I was 12 years old, and when they introduced you on television, my Aunt Carrie, which was my mother's sister, asked, Dorothy, how do you feel when you see your boy on television? How do you feel when you're looking at your son? We've seen him several times now. And I asked, what did she say? And she said she just held her hand up just for Carrie to be quiet until the end of your presentation. And she said, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I said, wow, what are the chances that you were there on that day and you and I having this conversation? Look at God. So I know she saw me. I know she was aware of who I became. I don't believe it, I know it, because now I have people that can verify that. When you're adopted, it's like a missing piece to the puzzle, you know? Dorothy Bell, she gave me life, but Mamie Brown taught me how to live life. But there are things that's in me. When I look in the mirror, because of the pictures that I've seen of my birth mother, I can't see but anything but her face. And, oh my God, there she is. And I've always wanted it to. I said, God, let me see a picture. Let me hear a voice. And I have a recording of her doing a poem. And I have a picture of her. And I look at that picture and I look at me. I said, it'd be criminal for her to say, that's not mine. And I look like she made me all by herself. So I got my song, y'all heard it. I got two mothers and I'm not ashamed. I've got two mothers and I love them just the same. This thing called life. So I was just reflecting. Find something that's you and give it all you have. Live life on your terms. Make yourself stand out. And do what matters. Don't get caught up in the trivial things of life, the busyness of life. Sometimes we can get so busy we think we're being productive, and all we're doing is wasting time. Time is a currency. And do some deep thinking and reflection of who you should be in and out of the pandemic. What does the next greatest version of yourself look like? That's what I'm reflecting on. That's what I'm thinking about. Pouring all that life into the life that my great-grandson Matthew did not get to live. I'm sure he's saying on the other side with Malik, go get him, Papa. That's what my grands call me, Papa. I don't know you, but I know this to be true. You're here for a purpose. You were chosen at this point in time to do the greater work, to create a better world for our children and for our children's children, to plant seeds for trees that we will not sit under and gather shade. Because we're here because somebody made a sacrifice. People went to jail, they lost their lives, stripped of everything. So you're not here by any accident, and if you're still breathing, not taking a dirt nap, if you can hear me, God has something else for you to do. I don't know how. Don't worry. Just make yourself available and say, here I am, Lord. Just say yes, as Shekinah Gloria would say. And just pour yourself into the mindset Lord, rescue me from myself. Deliver me from myself so that I can live for you. Liberate me. Point me in the direction of my exodus, as Donald Lawrence would say.